Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm going to break down the Kansas City Chiefs' Week 7 victory against the San Francisco 49ers. So, Chiefs Kingdom, your Kansas City Chiefs just defeated the 49ers by the final score of 28-18, and with this win, the Chiefs advanced to 6-0 on the season. They are the only unbeaten team in the NFL after the Vikings lost to the Lions earlier today. And so they truly are in a class all by themselves. Nobody else can compete with this team. And the Chiefs just beated a hated rival in a Super Bowl rematch. And this game ended exactly like that first matchup did. And it resulted in a 49ers loss. The 49ers have lost to the Chiefs the last 4 times they have met. And 2 of those games have been in the Super Bowl. And the other 2 losses have come in their home stadium where the Chiefs came into their house and slapped them around. And you could kind of see that tempers boiled over. Trent Williams punched Brian Cook in the head late in the fourth quarter and got ejected from this game, really signifying the frustration on that 49ers sideline. Because how frustrating do you have to be if you're a 49ers player that you've played this team well 4 times and you just can't find a way to get it done? Listen, I've been on the other side of this. This kind of reminds me of what it was like for the Chiefs against the Bengals, being 0-3 against the Bengals, and it just felt like, man, we really can't beat this team. But if you're the 49ers, you got to feel sick. I mean, just sick to your stomach because your quarterback threw 3 interceptions in the loss, going 17 of 31 for 209. He was able to get sacked 3 times. Or actually, he was only sacked once, but he was sacked 3 times. Sorry, I'm looking at the stats on ESPN. Jordan Mason, the running back that was the Christian McCaffrey replacement, who's played pretty well this year, had 14 carries for 58 yards, averaged 4.1, but in the first half, he could not run the football at all, and most of those yards came in garbage time. And their leading receiver was George Kittle, who had 6 catches for 92 yards. Didn't really matter. I mean, this Chiefs defense shut down the 49ers, and it started with the 2 rookies in Hicks, and then I can't even remember the other guy's name. Was it Wallace? Let me find the guy that picked it off, because when I heard the name at first, I was like, who? And it was Christian Roland Wallace. Rookie Christian Roland Wallace, and 2 rookies had interceptions in this game. Jaden Hicks had one in the end zone against Brock Purdy. You saw Justin Reed get in on the action and get his first interception this year. So the Chiefs defense controlled the tone of this game by being able to force many turnovers against this 49ers offense. And listen, there's one thing that I might actually go off on a tangent here. But how many times in this game, if you watch the Fox broadcast, did you hear Tom Brady or, Kevin Burkhardt make some kind of excuse for the 49ers? All of these guys were hurt on their offense. They didn't have Christian McCaffrey. You saw Deebo Samuel not play after he was dealing with an illness. Ayuk got hurt during the game. They kept making excuses for this 49ers team not having all of their offensive pieces, which I think is so rich, considering the fact that the Chiefs also have had so many injuries to the offensive side of the football. You didn't see Juju Smith-Schuster play the majority of this game after he suffered a hamstring injury. And so you had, you had Xavier Worthy, Mecole Hardman, who looked like Jerry Rice today. You saw Sky Moore drop a pass, and you had Justin Watson. Those are your wide receivers. So I really don't want to hear anybody complain that the 49ers had all the injuries. At one point today, Xavier Worthy and Mecole Hardman were this team's 1 and 2 wide receivers. That's not good enough. And I think if this game showed us anything, the Chiefs need to make a move for a wide receiver before the deadline. But that's definitely a topic for another video. But I just was so impressed with how these weapons on the offense stepped up. A guy that we're probably not going to talk about, but we absolutely should. Noah Gray. 4 catches, 66 yards. Looked phenomenal and kind of looked like a guy that could be a big contributor in this offense. Kareem Hunt, 22 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. It does not get any better than that. Again, Kareem Hunt was signed off the street less than a month ago, and he has been a big-time contributor in this offense. And you saw Patrick Mahomes. He had that incredible run on the sideline where he was able to juke out multiple 49ers players, and that was actually the longest run of his career. Many, likened it to that AFC Championship game run where Mahomes toe-tapped along the sideline, but you kind of just saw that the Chiefs were able to do whatever they wanted to do rushing the football. I mean, it was just not even fair. Let's look at the team stats really quickly because the Chiefs absolutely dominated in the rushing game. They had 184 yards opposed to the Niners' 101. So 184 yards on the ground. And Kareem Hunt, Patrick Mahomes, you saw, Samaje Perine, and you even saw Carson Steele get a couple carries. He had 6 carries for 17 yards. So the Chiefs are really trying to lean into this running game when all of the wide receivers are hurt. And I really like to see that because it almost is like this Chiefs team has completely shifted, what they were a couple years ago. They used to be a team that could throw the football all over the field and look great and, move the ball at a high rate and very quickly down the field by throwing the ball. That's not the case. They're a team that is going to rely heavily on their defense and the rushing game to put them in a position to win. Because if you look at it, Patrick Mahomes was not great in this game, guys. And listen, I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes. I think that he has earned the benefit of the doubt. He was 16 of 27 for 154 yards and threw 2 interceptions. No touchdowns, 2 picks. Both picks were pretty bad. But I think that you have to look at it from a perspective of Patrick Mahomes, even when he's not playing his best or even, good football to his standards, it is still better than everybody else in the NFL. You saw him make plays with his legs. The 30-something yard run down the sideline. You saw him have a rushing touchdown in this game where he was able to get in the end zone and absolutely truck a 49ers defender. And you just saw him get it done in other ways. And so that is encouraging. I know that he hasn't, lit up the scoreboard this year by throwing for a bunch of touchdowns. And in fact, he has more interceptions than he has touchdowns at this point, which is a horrible stat. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs are 6-0. They are the only undefeated team left in the NFL, which would not be possible if Patrick Mahomes was not managing this game like the best player on the planet. Like, he was very Tom Brady-esque in this game. Used the defense, was able to make timely plays when he needed to, and he relied heavily on the running game. And so it's very fitting that with Tom Brady commentating this game, he pulled off the most Tom Brady type of win ever. I mean, he leaned on the defense, used the running game, and had great head coaching from Andy Reid, who was very creative with some of the offensive packages that he was able to draw up over the bye week. But man, you just got to feel pretty confident about the state of this team. The Niners are 3-4 right now. They've had many of these games early on in the season go against them, and the Chiefs have had so many injuries, so many things that would cripple most teams in the NFL, and they're still dancing. They're still fighting. They're still undefeated, and it really speaks to the culture that they've built. In fact, I'm watching the TV right now. Patrick Mahomes is 5-0 against the 49ers in his career, which includes 2 Super Bowl victories. He plays great against them. Even if they don't, light up the stat sheet, he always finds a way to get it done. Mecole Hardman, a guy that, oh my gosh, he might be this team's number 2 wide receiver after Juju gets hurt. He had, a great game today, had 1 reception for 17 yards, but in the rushing game, where he was able to explode out of the backfield and really get involved on those, the jet sweeps and the end arounds, he had 2 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Mecole Hardman shows up, and you saw even early on in this game, he had that kick return where he was able to get great field position for this offense. And listen, coming into this game, the Chiefs were the 29th ranked red zone team. There were only 3 teams in the NFL better in the red zone, and while they still have a lot of work to do when it comes to turning the football over, I thought they improved today. I really did. I thought the offense looked pretty good for the most part, outside of the fake punt call, which was not a great call at all, but I kind of understand it because the 49ers special teams unit's just not very good. And so I understand why Andy Reid did that, but you would have liked to, just punt that ball away and not give them great field position. But I understand the call. And so you saw the Chiefs really play to their strengths and kind of pinpoint the 49ers' weaknesses. The 49ers have had multiple kickers. They've had, issues on the special teams unit, and they've attacked that. They attacked the fact that the Niners also have injuries along that offensive side, and you saw guys step up. And so you really have to just tip your cap. And listen, if you're an opposing NFL team and you're just watching this as a fan, you got to be sitting back in your chair just being like, damn. I mean, damn. What is there to say? Andy Reid is 22-4 all time coming off of a bye, which is the best winning percentage in NFL history. I'm seeing this on the TV as we speak. It was unfair. Early on in the week, I was thinking that this might be the 49ers Super Bowl. This might be something that it's hard to pick against them because, listen, they wanted to win this game way more than the Chiefs. They hate this team. This team has beaten them twice in the Super Bowl. This was the Super Bowl rematch in their house, and they lost. And not only did they lose, they lost by double digits. And they lost the double digits to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and company, who are just unbeatable coming off of a bye. And speaking of the bye, Andy Reid and this Chiefs team have put themselves in a fantastic position to get that bye. In the AFC, they have a 2-game lead over everybody else. And so come January, come February, you're going to have to come to Arrowhead Stadium. And we've seen over the past 5-6 years, that is the toughest place in sports to play. And so I'm just so, happy with this win. I know you could pinpoint some of the deficiencies of the offense, specifically Patrick Mahomes turning the football over. He's going to fix it, guys. He really is. I think that he's just had a couple breaks not go his way, a couple unlucky interceptions, some not unlucky, but he's just had, some balls that underthrown, and I expect him to improve on that. He's the best quarterback on the planet. He will find a way to get better. And so I'm not really worried about that. You saw the Chiefs defense absolutely shut it down, turning the ball over, 3 times for the Niners, picking Brock Purdy off 3 times. He looked absolutely horrible, and just the defense shut down this very good offense regardless of the injuries. And so you just have to be super happy with this win. Again, the Chiefs just defeated the 49ers in San Francisco in the Super Bowl rematch, as it was called, by the final score of 28-18. That's all I have for this video. Let me know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. How are you feeling after this Chiefs victory? I think there's just so much to take away from this game positive that we'll talk about more of the negatives, later on this week. But the positives, in my mind, outweigh the negatives by a lot. And so definitely let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm sure that you guys have a maybe different take than I do, but I feel very confident about the state of this Chiefs team being undefeated and really looking like a juggernaut in the NFL. So Chiefs Kingdom, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, go follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok, KC_Sports Report, and Twitter at KC Sports Report. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video, and go Chiefs.